Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Aviana. This is Aviana's Ascension. This week's video is going to be a tarot reading. And I went up to my altar just to see like, okay, what's the readings I want to do? What's the vibe? And I just heard either get comfortable with change, either embrace change or embrace stagnancy. Because at the end of the day, it's like an energy of like, somebody could be fighting some sort of shift that's happening. Maybe somebody wants certain changes in their life, but they're not willing to put in the work they need to put in to make those changes happen. It's like a shift needs to take place unless you want to be okay with staying where you're at or just doing what it is you're doing. It's almost like an energy of like kind of like shit or get off the pot. You know, it's like you either want to make it happen or you don't. You know, you're either going to keep making excuses, keep finding reasons, keep procrastinating, or you're not. And I know it's easier said than done. You know, we all have a million things that pull us in different directions. We all have, you know, trauma that might block us, limiting beliefs, whatever the case may be. You know, like no one is unique in, you know, oh, I experienced childhood trauma. Oh, you know, society has held me back. You know what I mean? Like we all have a story. We all have something that we come from. We all have something that could have held us back. But it's about choosing. Are you going to let that hold you back, or are you going to find purpose in that pain? This is interesting. I wasn't expecting this reading to go in this way. But maybe it makes sense because, you know, we just had the Lion's Gate. There was just a new moon in Leo. And see, I'm using the Sacred Ritual incense today. I have bliss, I have fortune, but it feels like some of you might need to do a ritual, you know, whether that's like a cord cutting ritual or a healing ceremony. I offer both. If you're interested, go to my website. I'll link it down below. Maybe you need to do a Reiki session. Maybe you need to do a therapy session. Maybe you need to pull some cards. There's something that you're needing to take a deeper look at. Because here's the energy. It's not that someone is resisting change. It's not that someone doesn't want to embrace this stuff. But they're having a hard time letting go of what they have to let go of in order to embrace, have the life that they desire. That's the issue. So for example, it could be, you know, oh, once I have this amount of money, or once I have this job, or once something happens, then I'll be there, then I'll be ready. You have to recognize you're ready now. It's not that you need to embrace something outside of you that's going to change things. You need to embrace the life that you actually want and recognize the shifts you need to make within yourself to have those things happen. Okay. This is like self-care turning into sacred discipline. This is routine, goals, turning into a sacred discipline. It's not, this is who I want to be. This is who I am. So I'm going to show up as that version of me. I know that's right. I like that. Okay. That actually aligns with my online ceremony coming up August 24th. I have a Fill Your Cup online ceremony. So it's online so you guys can watch from wherever. So if you want to know more about that, I'll put that down below too. Okay. Let's go ahead and shuffle up these cards and see what Spirit wants us to know. I'm excited. I have my Mudras deck that my friend Kathy gave to me for my, I think it was for my birthday, but I don't really remember. But I'm excited. I've never used this deck before, so I think that'll be fun. Then we're also using the Modern Witch Tarot. All right, let's see about it. And see, like, they're all in, like, colorful order. So some of you guys might want to work on your chakras or something like that. We'll see. All right. Universe, spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors, divine Holy Spirit, thank you so much for connecting with me today and every day. Thank you for connecting me with the collective today and every day. And thank you for connecting me with the collective that needs to hear this message. Embrace change or embrace stagnancy. Let's get some messages about this energy. What do you want the people to know? What clarity, guidance, advice, wisdom do you have for us? Please and thank you, Spirit. Yeah, I'm hearing like you're the creator of your own life, of your own dreams. So don't feel like it's going to be something outside of you that brings forth the change, the energy that you're wanting. Thank you for these messages, Spirit. Thank you for using me as a humble vessel to provide these messages. I'm grateful to do what I do and to share it in the way that I share it. Thank you for these messages coming out clearly and accurately. And allow these messages to be for the highest good of those watching and the highest good of all. Please and thank you, Spirit. King of Pentacles coming out. So maybe there's a lot of like Six of Pentacles. Something else was there. Okay. Yeah, okay. So the Six of Pentacles is like someone asking for help, someone with their hand out. The King of Pentacles is someone who does the providing, you know? So it's almost like you don't realize your own power. You don't realize how capable you are because maybe you've never realized your power. Maybe you've never stood in it. You've never been encouraged to do so. But now it's time. Not standing in your power is the thing that's holding you back. Not being accountable, not being disciplined, not having faith, that's what's holding you back. It's not the things outside of you. It's not your past. It's you. You're in your own way. And what a good thing to have. What a beautiful place to be. Because guess who's in charge of you? You. So let's get it together. Okay. Bottom of the deck. You know, I wasn't sure what was the top or the bottom of this guy. I guess we'll just take it like this. Bottom of the deck, we have courage. So show yourself what's in you. Exactly. You see that? And these are mudras you guys can do. So if you're wanting to work on that, do that, you know? And I also like that, like, there's this, like, it almost is giving like a little devil energy. So it's almost like realize you're stronger than your own fears, than your own. See, look, it says, what tries to frighten me is nothing more than a ghost, which I chase away with a single glance. Exactly. You're a lot stronger, a lot braver, a lot more capable than you realize. Stop giving your power to your fears. Imagine if you switch that. Imagine if you gave your power to your faith, to your goals, to your ambition, to your confidence. You would be unstoppable. How intense and strong your fears are how intense and strong your faith can be if you choose to redirect that energy. Okay? Ooh, we have stomach mudra. Take a step back, no hassles. Also, I love that there's like that dandelion in the back. It's very much like make a wish, dream, have that childlike energy. See, and this is a mudra that's good for calming the stomach and nerves. So some of you guys, yeah, that anxiety is getting really bad for some of you. Like you're having a physical response to it. It's time to do something about it. Okay, it says calmness and equanimity are witness to my inner strength. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I was reading it. I was going to read it to you guys, but I'm not going to. But yeah, it's time to reclaim your power. Okay, last one for the bottom, magic, be bewitched. Isn't that fun? See, you're magical. You're a lot more capable than you realize. And this makes me think of like the Taj Mahal or like energy like that. My life is encompassed within the great secret of the universe. I have faith in its benevolence. See? That's the thing. You're either going to be moving in faith or fear. Which one do you want it to be? Do you want to own your magic or do you want to own your fear? You know what I mean? Don't do things that don't make you feel good. That's silly. All right, let's get some messages on this energy. Please and thank you, Spirit. I'm really just vibing today. Like, I was like, let's see what comes out. I'm not really sure what I wanted to talk about, but I heard that and I was like, all right, well, let me know what decks you want me to use now, Spirit. All right, I'll read these longer ones. Oh, healing, let it be. Wow. I'm going to leave this here just in case you guys want to do the mudra. It looks like the pointer goes to the middle to the pointer. Almost like everything's like, hold on. Hold on, no, that's not right. Where does this other pinky go? I think the other pinky's just floating. Oh, I don't know. Wait, no, I'm not going to waste. I forget that I be on here. Like, I don't know. I don't want to waste your guys' time trying to figure it out. But anyways, healing, let it be. Okay, let's read it. Cow Mudra. The Surabhi Mudra is an effective help against rheumatism, arthritis, inflammation, and all kinds of pain. In chronic cases, practice this mudra 4 times daily for about 10 minutes. So some of you could be having a lot of like maybe pain in your hands or your joints. See yourself as a beautiful flower, open up to the light and let yourself be filled with it, drenched in its brightness, its colors, and its warmth. In its radiant healing power, feel the warmth of the light. It wakes up your cells and gets your atoms dancing and singing. As needed, send bundles of light to those parts of your body which are asking for attention. I open myself up to the cosmic light, to the universal loving principle, to the strength which gives healing and joy. Okay, so what I heard in my mind's eye is some of you might be holding on to either pain or certain labels or certain stories because some of you are like, who would I be without that? You know? And what's interesting, I did a cord cutting ritual for myself on the 10th of August, which was like shortly after like the peak of the Lion's Gate. And it was an energy of me letting go of this scarcity. And it's funny, I called that version of me Mrs. Krabs, like from SpongeBob. And it was, at first, she was very apologetic, like very sad that her control or her fear, her scarcity was what was keeping us held back. And then I told her, let it go. And she was like, who am I without that? And I was like, you get to retire. It gets to be easy. And then there was an energy of like, how dare I? You know, like, who do I think I am that it gets to be easy for me? So understand that obviously, like, there can be energy coming from you, but there's also an energy ancestrally, especially if you come from a culture of people who have struggled, you know, and many cultures have, right? So understand that sometimes it can be so ingrained in our bones to hold on to pain, to hold on to trauma, to hold on to certain labels and struggles. Almost like it's a family tradition. We don't have to struggle in this for the sake of it anymore, for the sake of familiarity anymore, you know? And what this really made me think of is like, feel the warmth of the light, let the light in, open up to it. That's the thing. It's right there for you. You just need to start opening up to it. Start opening up to ease. Start letting people help you. Stop worrying so much. And let the universe prove to you that it can be easy. It will get easy. Even if that's not what you're used to. Okay? What number was that? Number 31, which makes 4. And 4 is about like stability, security, partnership, like community, you know? It can be easy. Okay, what is this? Openness. Open the windows of your soul. See, like, and this was saying be open to the light and all that. Yeah, it's time for you to be open. You're guarding yourself. You're keeping yourself stuck right now. I really like this deck. It's so fun. Okay, let's read it. Bronchial Mudra. This mudra clears the bronchial tubes and makes your breathing easier. In cases of acute breathing difficulty, maintain the mudra as long as necessary. In chronic cases, perform it 4 times daily for about 5 to 10 minutes. While breathing out deeply and thoroughly, contract your abdominal wall. I really like that this deck includes like the physical aspect as well as the spiritual. It's really fun. Imagine yourself to be sitting on top of a mountain. You enjoy the view, the space, and the pure, fresh mountain air, which you are breathing in with deep lungfuls. At the same time, you are inhaling prana, the cosmic life energy. Prana clears and heals your lungs, gives you strength, and supplies all your needs. I am open for what is of beauty and good. I accept it with thankfulness. See? And there's simple things in life that are here to provide for you, that are here to show you that things can be beautiful, that things can be easy. You have to get open to it. You have to receive it. That's the thing. Like when I went through that process with my Mrs. Krabs, and I realized like not only was she so used to this that it felt like part of her identity and she didn't know who she would be without worrying about money, But then like it was honestly like a spiteful sabotage energy. Like she was like, well, if it's not going to be easy for me, I don't want it to be easy for you. So we're going to keep controlling. And I was like, you got me twisted. You know what I mean? Like you have to hold yourself accountable when you're thinking negative thoughts, when you want to just sit and rot on the couch, or you want to not show up for your goals or the beautiful things in your life. That is you choosing not to go towards your blessings, not to go towards the life that you said you wanted. You know what I mean? It's not easy to choose yourself. Some days it's not exciting. You know what I mean? Like I was sitting on the couch and I was like, I don't really feel like doing a reading or making content, but do I want to own a business? Do I want to work for myself or not? You know what I'm saying? Either be about it or don't. But at the end of the day, when you're reflecting on your life at the end of it, you only have yourself to blame. Why are you rejecting your blessings? Why are you shutting it down? Why do you want to stick to these labels, these stories, this struggle because it's so comfortable? Who are you outside of the struggle? That's who I want to meet. That's who you're meant to be. Okay, what number was this? 52, which makes 7. I don't know a lot about 7. Moving on. The upper hand, keep cool. Ooh, okay. Maybe this is about controlling your energy, controlling your feelings, not letting your emotions get the best of you. And maybe that's what it has to do with as well. Maybe you don't know what to do when that fear comes up, when your struggles, when your obstacles, when your triggers are at the forefront. You need to figure out how you can snap yourself back out of it, how you can see it, be in it, and then be like, okay, but we're not operating on that level anymore. We are holding ourselves to a higher standard. Some of you might need therapy, maybe meditation, maybe journaling, whatever process works for you to start going through that. Maybe you need to just do this mudra. Okay, that's the mudra for it. Okay. Musti mudra. I could be saying that wrong. And it says fist seal. So it kind of does look like a seal. Fist seal. I was thinking seal. It's like seal, like seal. Silly me. Silly me. Okay, let's get into it. A fit of rage always works in the end like an own goal. And scientific research tells us that it makes the brain more susceptible for further outbursts. And see, that's the thing. When you say yes to a certain energy, your brain is saying, okay, that's the pattern we're in. Even though that's comfortable, you got to say yes to bigger and better. You have to hold yourself accountable for that. You have to. You can't say, well, that person cut me off. That person made me angry. That person did this. They're not doing that. And you can't control other people, but you're letting them control you? Come on. Okay. Rage releases adrenaline, and this makes one aggressive whilst at the same time consuming energy. You're exhausting yourself. First, let off steam by drumming on your left fist several times into the palm of your right hand. So probably like maybe this. I don't know what drumming means. Like, well, no, your fist, so that. While performing the mudra, imagine yourself under a cold shower, which gives you a good cooling off. Then take your time to consider carefully what you can do to change things and avoid future flare-ups. There is always a way. Have a good look for it. And the thing is, the way is not about, oh, this person needs to do this. Because again, you can't control other people outside things. You control you. Okay, so that person didn't make you flare up. The lack of emotional regulation, the lack of being able to handle your triggers is what made you flare up. Don't put it on that person in that situation, because that's giving away your power again. And we've already been there with staying stuck in these traumas and these stories. So let's move on from it so we can receive our blessings. Not even receive them. I feel like blessings are surrounding you, but you're in a state of frequency that's such like lack or controlling or fearing that you can't even see it. I master my life using a cool head and a big heart. And then 38 is 11. And that's what it's all about. Coming back home to your true self. Isn't that cool? I like this deck. I'm glad we're using it today. Okay, cute. All right, let's get into the tarot. Let's see what's going on. Also, the yellow could be like solar plexus chakra, which makes sense because this is like stand in your power. The blue could be the throat chakra, and green heart chakra, which definitely makes sense for this. So that's like your place for unconditional love, healing. Okay, let's see. Bottom of the deck here. We have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, see, there's like a new passionate beginning here. There's excitement surrounding you. There's ambition, there's energy. But the thing is, if you're letting old stories keep you stuck, if you're letting your anger or rage or emotions get the best of you, you won't be able to go towards this blessing. It just won't happen because you'll sabotage it, you know? So that's why King of Cups, you got to get your emotions in check. You got to get yourself in order. You have to be able to visit the past without ruminating in it or putting yourself back into that space. You have to be able to sit in your emotions without drowning in them. That's why things have been so delayed, because Spirit's like, I'm ready to bless you, I'm ready to bless you, but like you keep, your knee-jerk reaction is, I'm going to make some money, that's good. But your knee-jerk reaction is to go backwards, is to like result back to a tantrum or to shutting down or whatever. Yeah, death card. It's time to change, it's time to grow. Embrace change or embrace stagnation. Look at that. The Empress, the Queen of Pentacles. You're meant for success. You're meant for abundance. You're meant to have all that you want. But you got to have the confidence, the power, the self-regulation to be able to hold it. It's like, I'm not going to give a cup of hot coffee to a toddler because they're going to spill it on themselves. I'll give it to an adult, but I'm not going to give it to a toddler. You know, that's how Spirit feels with you. Like if you're in your Queen of Pentacles, Empress energy, absolutely. But when you're lashing out or putting yourself backwards, what are they supposed to do with that? Page of Swords, Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Temperance. Yeah. Here's the thing. Again, you're meant for a lot of great things, a lot of success. But there's a part of you that's hesitating because I think, you know, I've got to come into balance. I've got to heal some things. I've got to shift some perspectives. And that is not easy. You know, if it were easy, everyone would do it. But do you want a fulfilling life or an easy life? You let me know. All right. What do you want us to talk about, Spirit? What do you want us to know? See, let's talk about it. I mean, coming out first, the Devil in the Tower, Capricorn energy, Scorpio. Isn't that something? Look. And see, the thing is, like, you've been tied to something that is very fear-based, that is very low vibration. You convince yourself that you're making progress, that you're so, like, it's like I hear somebody saying, like, I'm so far advanced, I'm so aware, I'm so this, I'm so that. Then why are you still stuck? I guess this reading today is here to call people out, but like, if this is how I was moving, I'd want to be called out too, you know? And there are moments in my life where I was the devil in the tower. And that's why I can tell you, you're the missing key. You choosing to take your life back, you choosing to see things differently, you choosing to move forward, that's what's missing. No one's keeping you here. You're choosing to stay there. Yeah, Ten of Cups. You could have a lot of fulfillment. You could have a lot of happiness. But there's something, you're just so stuck in something. There could have been like childhood trauma or something here. Look, Five of Swords, Six of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. There could have been childhood trauma. Maybe this is like reflecting like the childhood trauma that you've been holding on to possibly. But you see how she's got her little black cat with her? That's her shadow. It's time to turn all of this into your friend. You have to understand that if it wasn't for these darker things, you wouldn't be craving the light. You wouldn't have gone to therapy. You wouldn't have done the healing work. You wouldn't have decided to be different than what you grew up with. You know, that is a gift. That's something very beautiful. And I want you all to know, like, this time on earth is a very challenging time. This is a time when we're raising the frequency, when we're either choosing to embrace stagnation or embrace change. We're either choosing to raise the frequency or we're staying stagnant and stuck. So if you're part of the collective that's here to challenge, you probably have been through a lot of trauma, especially during childhood. Yes, that is difficult, but so is living on earth. Like, it's not here to be easy and perfect for anybody. Yeah, it's time to like get out of this like victim mentality and realize you're the only reason you're still stuck on it. So let yourself process it. Let yourself integrate it. Let yourself find the purpose in that pain. All right, tell us more about the Ten of Cups, Tower, the Devil. See, you're the one keeping yourself stuck. You're the reason you haven't moved forward. You're the reason. Look, the Wheel of Fortune, the World, the Three of Wands. All three of these cards are about moving forward, embracing change. This is about being stuck. Your mind getting the best of you. Cut it out. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you want that to be the reason because you're in charge of you. You're the one who can wiggle up out of this. There's no one here to save you. And that's good. And that's the thing. A lot of you guys, it feels like you think like, oh, well, this person should apologize. My parent, these people, the government. You know what I mean? Like, you're siphoning your freedom, your happiness, your peace to something outside of you. It's never going to work. We have the Nine of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. You just struggle with like seeing something in a new perspective. That's the thing that's holding you back. And that's the thing, like you think you're making progress, you think you're doing things, but at the end of the day, that's the thing too. I'm hearing like someone is stuck in the healing loop that they're in, okay? So it's like you may have gotten to the point where you know, oh, things were toxic, but you haven't gotten to the point where you've forgiven. You haven't gotten to the point where you have found purpose in this pain, where you've been able to reclaim your power from it. That's why you're staying stagnant and still getting hurt in this situation. It's almost like you cherish the narrative you have, the feelings, more than the freedom in healing. Okay. Anything else here? I also feel like it's kind of breaking it down. Like this is like, cut it out with the victim narrative. You know what I mean? I mean, she came out and joined us. So, you know, it's not just me being mean, you know, you are keeping yourself stuck. And my approach to tarot and like all of my healing stuff, I am an alchemy activator. And a lot of people think of that with like herbs or metals, but I do that with your emotions and your trauma and certain experiences and your perspective. Because I did it for myself. You know what I mean? Like you are the key to your freedom. There's the Sun, the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. It's time to put in the work to heal. Not only put in the work, like some of you have put in a lot of work towards a business or a goal or something like that. And now it's time for these things to like pay off, but it's not paying off how you thought it would, and you're not sure why. And it's because you haven't done the internal spiritual work. You know, you can't bypass that. Because no matter how many degrees you have, or how in shape you are, or how many connections you have, or how much money you have, or how many followers, or whatever, if you're still that same wounded child inside, you can't fake that. The universe will know. And so the fulfillment you're looking for, even if you get it, it won't feel like enough. And see, there's like a little kid on this Sun card. You got to connect with your inner child. You got to start working on that. That's the key to it. Your inner child is holding on to a lot. All right, let's keep it moving and grooving. Okay, interesting. We have the King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and then the Moon card. Okay. So this could be some sort of divine partnership coming into play. This could be two business partners. With the Moon card, though, there is an element of like maybe fear, illusion, not everything coming to the surface. So I don't know if this is like a business partner, a partner like romantically, or what's going on here. But it feels like this could be the energy of like let yourself receive, or like open to the beauty in life, whatever it was saying. This could be, maybe there's like a person or resources surrounding you that could really help you, but there's a part of you that really might not trust. Okay, there's the Six of Cups, Five of Pentacles here. Yeah, Queen of Swords, Four of Cups. Yeah, I think you very much reject help because maybe situations in the past in childhood you couldn't depend on people. So now you don't want to. Now you don't trust it. Okay, let's see about it. Tell me more about the King and Queen of Pentacles. See, yeah, there's a lot of tension in this energy. Five of Wands. These people could be arguing, or there could be just like an internal upset about it. It just feels like you cannot trust this person or the resources that are coming your way, whatever it is. And this can show up in many ways. This could be a person, this could be an investment, this could be a new job opportunity, whatever. It's something that's here to help you level up. And you're really fighting taking that direction. You're not sure if you can trust it. You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to have to like walk away again and make adjustments. You're it's like you're planning for the worst. Because your brain doesn't know how to let you get excited about things, how to like can you move with trust? Can you move with excitement rather than anxiety, rather than fear? Because it's a very thin line that they dance in between. So just choose the more positive. You have to start choosing better. You have to start realizing you're in charge of the perspective you have. Okay, tell me more about the moon. Okay. With the Ten of Pentacles, Three of Cups, there's clearly a lot of people involved or a lot of resources coming your way. We have Justice. We have the Death card. Yeah, it's like I'm hearing that you've always wanted all this help. You've always wanted things to turn around for you. And now that Spirit is trying to send you the people, the resources, the situations, the opportunities, the events that could help you, it's like you're rejecting them. It's like you're shutting it down. Yeah. It's almost like you feel like if I open my heart, if I'm vulnerable, I'll definitely get hurt. So I can't. And that's what's hurting you. That's what it is. All right. Tell me more about the Five of Wands, Wheel of Fortune here. Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck there. Yeah, it's like, I feel like there could be so much more success on the other side of this, you know? Like, you can go from the Nine of Pentacles to the 10 if you wanted. I just feel like you're cutting yourself off at the knees. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. You're cutting yourself off at the knees by feeling like it has to look a certain way. The Six of Wands, this is people celebrating you. But the Nine of Pentacles is someone who's all on their own, you know? And Spirit's also saying, like, you accepting help or letting people support you or whatever, it's not going to make you less worthy. Just like doing it on your own doesn't make you more worthy, you know? So, yeah, I'm hearing, like, stop following these made-up rules. Stop following these made-up rules. There's so much more out there for you. Yeah, see, Four Wands. You got to start letting people in, I'm telling you. Okay. Tell me more about the moon, the Death card. See, yeah, that's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear from your inner child, from memories, from nostalgia of the past, that you feel like you have to do it all on your own. I can do that all by myself. You absolutely can. But don't you want to have like equal give and take? Don't you want to have support? You do. But you have to be strong. You have to calm your ego to make it realize we're safe to ask for help. We're safe to be supported. There's been betrayal in the past, but can you move past it? Can you reclaim your power from it? Because you're exhausting yourself. Ooh. Whoa. All right. Tell me more about the Ten of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Justice, please and thank you. We have the Two of Wands, the Hierophant, the King of Swords. Yeah, I'm hearing like, can you leave behind the tales, the stories, the ancestral wounds, and forge your own path? The King of Swords, he knows what he's about. He knows his truth. He knows how he wants to walk around and carry himself. He knows what he believes. And the thing is, he doesn't need anyone else to co-sign it or to validate it at all. So it's like asking you, do you want to leave the comfort of tradition, of rules, regulations, convention, right? Because the thing is, like, sometimes our traditions are like, if you've grown up in poverty, if you've grown up struggling, that's your tradition, you know? But can you decide for yourself, I know who I am, I know what I'm here to do, I know what I envision for myself. I'm going to break out of that. I'm going to step into it. And some of you, the tradition might even be like you're the one that everybody goes to. You're the one that everybody relies on. So it really makes you uncomfortable to have other people taking care of you. But the thing is, do you want to grow? Do you want to embrace change or embrace stagnation? Because you're tired of it. You're tired of always being strong. And the universe is tired of it for you too. That's why they're sending you these things, these people, these resources, but you're rejecting them. So they're saying, well, which one do you want? Because you're saying you don't want to do it alone, and then we send you somebody to help you. We sent somebody to open your door for you, and you just didn't take it. You know, like some of you don't even feel comfortable enough to receive a compliment, and you wonder why it's hard on the yard for you. You know what I mean? No way. Move that over. All right. Let's see what else we got here for you. And if this is resonating, let me know with a like, a comment. You know the deal. Yeah. So now we have the King of Cups, the High Priestess. This is beautiful. This is definitely keeping it cool. I'll tell you what. This is water energy, Pisces. Relax. Trust yourself. You got to get a system in place where, first of all, you notice your energy shifts. And then you need to have a practice where you can ground yourself, where you can process without losing yourself. At the end of the day, I'm talking to somebody who knows they are meant for greatness. And they don't understand what's been the delay. You've been in your own way. Yeah, it's time to surrender. Also, it's an energy of like, it's okay that you don't know everything. That would be too much pressure, anyways. Because some of y'all might be walking around like, well, what do they know? What do they know? Two heads are better than one, you know? It's not working just you. So just let them help you. See, yeah, King of Wands, Six of Swords. It's time to walk away from the struggle. From the struggle of like carrying it all, being the big boss, you know. And it's not to say that you're not going to be a boss, but it's like there's a lot of people out there who have a lot of support, who have a lot of help, you know. A lot of the most successful people have a team because they can't do it by themselves. No one can. Okay? And you've been in this mode of like, I can, I'm going to push, I'm the baddest in the room, I'm the strongest, I'm the toughest. Nobody's doubting that. But what is that getting you? You know what I mean? Aren't you tired? I know you are. I know you are, but what am I? Yeah, like it's time for you to slow down. It's time for you to figure out, why do I need to be moving at all times? What are you running from? What are you running from? Yeah. It's this stability. You know, I think that some of the dreams and goals here, they could be rooted in fear. You know, like, I need to be successful, I need to be stable, so let me choose this goal, this career path that I know will provide that. This could also be just an energy of like limiting yourself because of what would be perceived as like instability, or just not having a lot of, it's like something didn't have a lot of validation for you, so you wouldn't go towards it. And when I say validation, that's not just like, oh, that person told me I was pretty, so that made me feel good. But it's like, oh, I'm going to be a doctor instead of like starting my own business. Obviously, those are both very hard, difficult things. But like when you're a doctor, there's a career path to follow, and you're going to make a certain amount. I don't know actually, but like it's a lot more predictable, I guess, than starting a business from nothing. You know what I mean? Not saying being a doctor is easy. I know it's not easy, but at least you have like a career path to follow. That's the thing. You got lost because you were letting success, stability guide you. What does that even mean to you? Because some of you have that and it's still not enough. Some of you, your energy is blocked. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like you're just trying to move forward and like, it's like I'm seeing like someone like just like I want it all. I want it all. But and then you get it all and then you realize this isn't even what I want, you know? So some of you, maybe there's been like a big pivot for you, and maybe that's a bit about what's going on too. Like realizing that something does not make you happy. Okay, tell me more about the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm just hearing like I betrayed myself. Page of Wands, Seven of Swords. Yeah, it was like there was a part of you that wanted to go towards bigger, better, something different, but you went with what was easy. You went with like instant gratification, a quick fix. Yeah. You realize like the road is closed for you down a certain path. And the thing is, this path was rooted in fear. It wasn't rooted in genuine like love. Whether this is career, a marriage, whatever. This involves just someone's overall like life, like spiritual self. I'm not saying everything in your life has to change, but I think it's more about the perspective you have and the beliefs you were carrying while you built that life. And now those beliefs are breaking down. Yeah, see, it's like you built something out of confusion and fear. And now that it's breaking down, you have the clarity about who you are, what you could be, who you could have always been. And there's this disappointment, but now there's this eagerness to move forward. That's a good place to be. That's beautiful. So recognize that like that's part of growth, right? There's going to be moments where something was right for you and then now it's not, especially when you allow yourself to evolve and grow and no longer let fear and doubt guide you. When those aren't guiding you anymore, off to the races, And yeah, it's going to be a little awkward, a little messy in the time being because now you have to like kind of look at everything and you're like, oh my God, what have I done? Or how could I have allowed this to go on for so long, and how could I have not seen it, or whatever the situation is. But don't be mad at yourself for that. It's what you needed at the time. It's what made you feel safe at the time, right? Because if you didn't work through these fears or whatever, and then you tried to go through towards this new life or towards this passion, you would have sabotaged it, right? So be grateful for these comfort zones keeping you safe when you didn't know any better, and be open to expanding and learning and growing more. All right, what a lovely reading. Okay, that's where I'm going to end it. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. If this resonated, let me know with a like, a comment, definitely subscribe. I do go live pretty often on YouTube and just pull cards for people. So if you ever see me going live, check it out. If you guys want more from me, I have all of my social media, my website down below. If you'd like to book a personal reading, I do cord cutting ceremonies, alchemy ceremonies. I do a tarot tutor service. I also make personalized guided meditations and affirmations for people, like the YouTube videos, just personalized. So if any of that piques your interest, check it out down below. I'll also put down below my Fill Your Cup ceremony, and I have my booking and stuff down below if you're interested in any of that. All right. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.